Wewe. Ameshashinda. Good good evening, people. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday evening. We sincerely apologize. For the delay na kuanza. Kusema ukweli, I think kuna nyani imekanyanga internet cable hapa juu, so kidogo imekuwa na bit of instability, but we are here. Tuko hapa. Mwanzo karibuni sana. I hope you're well. I hope mmekuwa na wiki njema. Feel free to just let us know pale kwa comment section how your week has been. Jibambe hapo tu na if you have an emoji to just tell us like, yo, this is how my week has been, please go ahead and do so. Yeah, but we are excited to be here. We're excited to do this every single Saturday. If it's Saturday evening and it's 10 p.m., you know one thing is going down, and that is Masks Off. This is a session where we get to hang out as the amazing people that we are. The one day that we contribute our Saturday evenings to not watch Netflix, to not watch any documentary, to not listen to Spotify, Apple Music, whatever platform that you do, and actually choose to be here. And so for that, we really commend you. Asante for intentionally using your internet, Wi-Fi, or bundles to just be here to spend this time to just learn. So karibuni sana. I hope you're well. Today is an amazing time because today we have the Masks Off edition, and it's dubbed the Red Slipper Challenge. I need to say it slowly, otherwise naweza jipata nimesema vitu zingine ambazo zina betray the part where the Bantu in me settled in this country. So sitaisema tena, nitaisema tu slipper. Sawa, nikisema slippers mnaelewa tu, si ndio? Yeah, but wasn't too excited. With me today, I have an incredible team of people who wanakani kama wana story. Slippers imefikisha watu mbali hii mtaa, watu wangu. Na wanaweza testify. So with me, I have Muranda, Miss Muranda. Muranda is a very common face to you guys because she's phenomenal and amazing and does so many things. So Muranda, I guess you can just go ahead and unmute your mic and say hi to peeps. Yeah.
What up, Wagwan? Tell them, say, how are y'all? Nimewamiss, nimewahata. I hope muko poa. Mimi niko salama. Unyamenimiss, mnanionaje? Yaza, thank you.
Well, usipojiintroduce na hiyo energy, tafadhali, please. The bar is already set too high. But Asante Miranda, excited to have you here. With me, I have an incredible lady, Miss Elsie Somi. Somi, you can go ahead and say hi.
Hello, everybody. I hope this finds you well. It's good to be here. I am grateful. I am thankful. I am joyous. I am jubilant. Lord God Almighty, but I'm here. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much. Is it just me, or did you guys feel like that was an email? I hope this finds you well. I'm like, it does. Milko Nangoja, please find attached. But Asante, so we are glad to have you here as well. Now, I have a very set of important people because they come in pairs today. Yeah? And this is not just a mother, but it's a mother and a daughter, Maze. And this two inspire me so much on my relationship with, to be honest, with my mom. You know, I keep on seeing how they are, how they work together, how they, Onangama bestie. Well, those are ghosts. Let's just say they're ghosts. But every time I think about them, I just call my mom and just remind myself, by then, you got in a relationship. Ijafika kama kwao, lakini, yeah. So I don't know how to introduce you guys. So let me just go ahead and introduce Martha Mwakitawa and Miss Kimberly Mwakitawa. Karibuni sana.
Oh, stop. Wacha. Anyways, yes. Niko hapa kama kawa kama dawa with the vibes. Lost in a violence, guys. Drew topic ni about violence, so it's the vibes. Introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. It's good to be here. Yeah.
Phenomenal, fantastic, asante sana manze. So guys, if you're joining us and you don't know what we're talking about, allow me to just take you through a snippet of why nimeanza mapema leo. Allow me to just take some time and just highlight to you why we are focusing on the Red Slipper Challenge, okay? I don't know about you, but everybody seems grown up. Everybody seems mature in their modest ways, you know, after their eloquence in their English seems to be, you know, up until you start talking about the Red Slipper Challenge. Hey, nasijayanguka tena. I'm doing so well. Yes, everybody starts talking about the Red Slipper Challenge. And you realize that the scripture in Proverbs that says, train a child in the ways of the Lord, and when they grow up, it will not depart from them. I think that's the one thing that our parents were, I don't know, when they were leaving hospitals after they gave birth to us, walipata hiyo scripture. Mkumbuke kutumia hii tafadhali sana sana na slippers, you know, because everybody has stories. Everybody has stories about how, you know, they stories zilifanyika manze, how walichapwa manze, you know, and that mimi hata sita wapatia trailer leo, na kuambia tu leo mtazisikia kutoka from the najua naweza sema horses mouth, alafu nisikie umetuita farasi, utasikia kutoka kwa wadau wenyewe, impress wenyewe. But today we're just getting to talk about, you know, the conversations around how we were as children, and how the stories about the Slipper Challenge was, you know, because my story is not anyone else's story. Kila mse akona story yake, kila mse akona their waves of how they were brought up, how they were disciplined, how they were able, kuna unasemanga kuna ujinga inatolewa na kuchanuliwa, kuna ujinga inatolewa kwa kuelewa mikono na kuombewa, na kuna ingine inatolewa kwa slippers. So manze, let me just go ahead and start us off. I guess I can just throw this to everyone. My first question to the amazing ladies in the panel is, as a child, did you get the taste of the slipper? Did you get the taste of the slipper? Feel free to just unmute your mic and let us know. Okay, modest people. Let me start with Elsie.
I mean, yeah, I feel like you weren't African if you didn't get a taste. Okay, it wasn't slippers for me, it was belts and other objects. But yeah, and let me tell you guys, it's the trauma for me. Like to date, I'm still scared of my mom. Like I feel like she's really scary. And yeah.
Umenita? Well, yes, mimi nimechapwa na slippers ya red, blue, kulikuwa na orange za umoja, na za umoja zilikuwa na uchungu kushinda za bata. Yes, tunaweza debate later. Belts nimechapwa nayo. I mean, yeah, nimechapwa na kila mtu. So, yeah, mimi nimechapwa. But I am not traumatized by my mom, but I hated those times. Nilikuwa namwandikia maleta, I hate you, sijui nini, you're not my mother, but sahi tunapendana. Na nilikuwa na hepa home. Anyway, so it is well.
You actually told your mother you hate her. Na ukakula kwa nyumba yake. Na ukalala kwa mattress yake. Hai, maajabu. Mambo ya kushangaza sana haya. Okay, great. This is funny. Kim, just let us know. It's funny I'm asking this because mom is right beside you.
Hey, of course, mimi nilichapwa. Na najua kuna watu watakuwa hapo kwa comment section akisema, haya, Kimberly alichapwa. Yes, Kimberly was beaten. Na nimekaa kando ya mwenye alinichapa, so sijui niache space. I just leave the space in the betweens ndo nisichapwe sahi nikimu expose. But nilichapwa. Ulichapwa? Of course.
For us, it was not even beating, it was terrorism. I mean, us guys never saw slippers, ilikuangani, anything on the way will hit you. So yeah, it was a form of discipline. Yeah.
Manze, this is amazing. Asanteni sana. I think for me, obviously nilichapwa, and I think I mean there's that season when nilikuwa najichukia nasema oh my parents don't love me. Lakini if I'm being honest with myself right now, nilikuwa kichwa ngumu, hata mimi najua. Kama singechapwa singekuwa mahali niko kwa sasa. But the one thing that amazed me about the red slipper time is, man, you never saw it coming. You never saw it coming. Unakanisha tu hivi tu na msema kidogo tu unasikia tu kivita kimetokea manzi, na hata hujui, uelewi tu, just ni kama radi. By the end, maana kichapo kilikuwa kama radi. So I experienced the red slipper belt, mwiko, mikono, every single thing that was close by that could hit you, it hit me manze. Paul, we have an amazing gentleman joining us as well. He wasn't in, I think ile tumbile ilikuwa imekanyanga ile waya pia area kwake, lakini saizi iko sawa. So as I invite Jesse, please go ahead, say hi, and then let us know if you also had a red slipper experience when you were young.
Hey, what's up, guys? Full name is Jesse. Friends call me Jesse. Yes, nilipigwa na vita ya mzazi. Actually, niko na story interesting. Shapigwa collabo na both my parents at the same time. So niliongea mbaya. So tag team hadi nionja hadi tag team. So yeah, na hiyo iko afani. Walinipiga alafu walikuwa wanaenda shughuli, so wakanipiga haraka hapo tag team yao. Alafu wakaenda shughuli yao, wakaniambia wasinipate nimetoka kwa hao. So yes, imeni shape, but I really appreciate what it did for me. Kama mimi kasingepigwa, I don't think I'd be the person I am today. Yeah, so me, I'm grateful to my parents. Yeah.
Mzee, hiyo tag team pole kama ili hata team yako, unajua. I think saa ingine unaweza kukikaa chini unasema okay, mom is the bad one, dad is the good one, no, dad is the good one, mom is the intertwined one. Lakini akikupiga collabo mzee, unakaa chini unashindwa surely.
But hiyo ni kama niliitisha, so vile ili kama hata siko nimeshtuka sana, but siko najua watanifungia kwa room wakiwa wawili wanioroshe hapo haraka kama wameenda.
Lakini kwa kweli Jesse, wewe ni icon. Ulikuwa unaongelesha wazee wako show hiyo kwa mdogo. Wow.
Manze niliongelesha mom vibaya.
The audacity. Hey.
Niliongelesha mom vibaya, dada akasikia. Akasema don't disrespect your mom like that.
Ay.
Ukajua mama
it's about to go down.
It was bad. But I appreciate it so much.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for your honesty, Manze. I'd like to shift this to Kimberly. Kimberly, just want to ask you, and in the household, who dealt with discipline up at home? Was it mom? Was it dad? Was it a tag team? You can let us know.
First of all, wacha tuniache space, because this is exposing again. The person who dealt with discipline is this woman right here, my mother. Yeye ndio alikuwa mtu wa kudiscipline, kuchapana, violence. Ukitaka kujua penye nilitoa violence, she is the one who instilled the violence in me. But kuna instances, a few instances when it was both of them, but 99% of the time, it was my mother. It was my mama. Yeah.
All right. So me, how was it when you were growing up?
Same thing. It was my mom. I literally only have like 2 memories of my dad chapaing me. My mother, though, oh my God, like And then it wasn't just kuchapwa, it was kuchapwa plus mind games. Like kuna siku tu ata decide nimejam, but wacha nisikuchape sahi, wacha tu nikwambie. Kuna time my mom was like, just sit there. And then anashinda tu akipita karibu na wewe. Anapita tu akiendanga. You're just like, anapita tu. Sasa uko sawa? Okay, hata mimi niko sawa. Ana 2 hours, 3 hours. Alafu all of a sudden, you're dead. As in, alikuwa anatumia, yani, psychology, violence, just everything. Yani it was a lot. It was, yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I'm here tearing up. So let me ask you, did that alter how your relationship was with your mom as a result of that?
I don't think so. I feel like as much as yeye ndo alikuwa na deal na the discipline, she was also very, like, haikuwa unreasonable. Like, ulikuwa understand. By the time anakuchapa, understand like you're on the wrong. So, I don't know how Ali maintain your balance, but bado alikuwa like the approachable one, but pia the scary one. Alikuwa tu both 2 in 1. So, yeah, I don't think it affected our relationship in a negative way.
You know, thank you, Somi. You know, I think when I think about the times when we used to be disciplined, to be honest with you, I think that was the literal meaning of bittersweet. You know, the oxymoron of life was introduced there. Because manze mtu anakupenda anakutandika. War, anakuona World War II. Kwanza I think kwa comment section nimeona someone say that ashaikiwa hapa lock kwa mguu. Yani nakwambia brutality. Alafu mtu anakuja anakuambia unalia nini? Si wewe nimechapa, wewe ni mtu mzuri sana, ni makosa nimechapa. And you're starting to think, unaanza kujiuliza those deep questions as a child, you know? Is it me? Do I have a multi-personality disorder? Niko na a side of me yenye ni ya, you know, ya makosa yenye inashindanga ikichapwa. And then of course the amazing way of a parent telling you that they are sorry. Umekula. Kuja ukula, you know. It used to be amazing. Jesse, I want to ask you a question. But before I do, niko na a really curious one. Tell us one of the most dramatic experiences that you've had when you're being disciplined. Top of your head.
Okay. Nitakuwa naandika msee mwingine mwenye tuli grow up na yeye, but ataniforgive. So kuna growing up we used to watch wrestling a lot, and ilikuwa imetu influence sana. So Saturday mornings we'd normally wake up and, you know, tulikuwa tunapenda kuona hizi cartoons za Clark Kiboko and all that. So kuna siku tumeamka hapo na bro tunacheza. Tukaanza kucheza tu hizi games za reso. So tuka happen kuanza kupanda grill ya sitting room, no. Na alafu tulikuwa wadogo. So it's quite big kutoka kwa sofa nini. So as we were playing, we were trying to like emulate this cage match, you know. Cage match bootleg. So tukacheza hapo kidogo. My bro akanivuta chini, then I fell mpaka kwa sakafu kabisa, then hit my head on the floor, and I started crying. Akajaribu kushika hivi mdomo kututoa, let hata nisikie uchungu yote na nilie. So that was like 7:30 in the morning. Then our dad had us, akakuja akatuita. Mwanzo alitupiga viboko asubuhi because he was asleep. Alitupiga viboko hiyo asubuhi na karudi kudozi. So ilikuwa very very interesting. Just to whip tu hapo sisi wote pa. I can't remember how many, but there were a lot. Na karudi tu akalala. Sema tu nisisikie kelele tena kwa nyumba. Na so kutoka hiyo time tukakuwa very very careful na vile tuna deal na pups, because he's Pops ndo alikuwa anatupiga sana na alikuwa anatupiga vita true ile ya shout out to Pops, man. Nampenda sana.
It's so commendable that I hear you say, you know what, like shout out to Pops right now and appreciate the fact that he disciplined you, which is, I'm actually seeing you answer the question that I was about to ask you, and that was, did that kind of discipline make you a better person, or did it bring about fear of your parents?
I mean, yeah, niliogopa mzee for a long time because kuna vile kidogo hiyo kupigwa yake, and you know, for us, our dad used to quote for us the Bible kabla kuchape, anakwambia spare the rod, unamjibu spoil the child, alafu unalala, unajua, alafu anakunyorosha, so una understand. So at the time una feel lakini dad, hata kama unasemanga stories za Bible bana, to forgivingi na vile unasemanga hapa stories za forgiveness bana, unatupiganga tu all the time bana, si fair, unajua. But now looking back, I see and appreciate what he meant, you know, and everything that he did was out of love. Yeah, by the way, na siwezi taka mpotee. Unajua kikwa back to hiyo saa hizo una feel tu unataka kunipiga, sema tu unasikia tu po ukitaka kunipiga, unajua ni hiyo saidia bado mse ana try kuchange, so umefeel tu, lakini mse you know, so yeah, for me alikuwa anatukotia spare the rod, spoil the child, anakudiscipline na ilikuwa yes, mimi nilikuwa nimemtense mbaya sana, nilikuwa nimemingizia, so most of the time ningejipata kama nataka kitu go to mom, but our relationship is different now, so see hiyo ya kuogopa.
All right, thank you, Jesse. Miranda, I have one for you, and again, before I just ask you the question that I was to ask you, I just want to ask you this. Just please go ahead and share with us. Unakani kama una mastori, uko na hekaya za like unajua season 1, season 2, zile unaweza get royalties ukiambia mtu wa kuchapia hizo mastori, unajua. Go ahead and just share with us maybe one of the experiences that you had with your folks.
So I'll just go with the story yenye nilihipa home, which ni mara mingi. So kuna hii particular day, I think I was in class 5 or 3. Sijui ni nani huyo, this younger siblings. Yeah. Anyway, sijui alifanya nini, alafu ikekelewa ni mimi. So mimi nilichapwa, nimepigwa nikaamua, hii nyumba mimi sikai tena. Mamangu hanipendi, no one loves me. Nikapack mango kwa zile pepa za green. Zile unakuka pepa before to zibaniwe. Nikapack mango. Nikachukua nikaweka na venye cartoon unaekanga mbao fulani alafu unafunga hivi alafu unabeba hivi. Nikabeba hivyo, nikatoka nikasema nimeenda na sisi wapendi, sijui nini, hamnipendi, bla 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 bla. Nikatembea kwetu na John South B. Kuna hanga na ghetto fulani hapa hivi. Nikaenda hivyo nikasema nitaenda ghetto, nilalange chini, nikuwe chokora, something of the sort. I was just siku pazuri. Wewe wacha jioni anze kufika, wacha mvua inyeshe. Mvua ilinyesha. Nikaona hapana, siwezi survive, siwezi lala chini. Nikaona tu hapana, siwezi. So nikarudi home. Nikarudi home kama nimenyeshewa. Nikaomba msamaha. Nikaomba msamaha, nikasema sitarudia tena, nimerudi. So mamangu aliniangalia akasema it's not happening. Ingine hapo nikiwa high school sikuchapwa, but mamangu alikuwa wale watu, usiporudi shule after midterm, wewe ni mtu wa wewe ni mko na mimba, wewe ni guy, yani you are the worst person ever. So siku after midterm sikurudi shule, nilibaki nikasema mimi ni mgonjwa. Wacha anipate kwa nyumba, juu mamangu anakuanga job ya shift. Wacha anipate kwa nyumba. Makelele, alikuwa ananipigia makelele. Tunaishi juu, watu wa chini wanakuja kuuliza ni nini. Akaniambia enda na uende kabisa. So nilienda Mata Hospital, nikakaa hadi jioni. hadi attendants wakakuja kujiuliza, young lady, Kai, what are you doing here? Wakapiga mama wakamwambia mtoto wako ameshinda hospitali, hajatibiwa, hajafanyiwa kitu yoyote. Mama akakuja kanichukua tu na maibu, karudi tu home. So kuna story mingi, lakini I am now a good girl na napenda Jesus.
Manze, thank you for that story. Sijui niulize, watu wa kutoroka manyumbani, habari zenyu? Ni salamu tu nikipita tu. Mko sawa? Mko fiti? Good stuff. Mnatoroka mnaenda wapi? You watch too many movies bwana, I've had enough of this home. Mommy, I'm leaving. I don't want to do this anymore. Hey, truth be told, I think nishajaribu kufanya hivyo siku moja na one of my brothers. By that time nikwambia mama yetu alitufungulia mlango. Nasema tokeni muende ndazaa wengine. You know, na kabaki hapo niko wow, asijaambiwa poa. Hey. Unajua, I didn't know it was called shade then, but it was enough to take me back and unpack my paper bag tu na nithamenya hapo sijambua poa. But Muranda, going back to you, I think I just want to ask you, do you think is there a better way to discipline a child? Yeah.
Well, I am not yet a mother, but what I'll say is, yes, hiyo yenye sisi tuko na chapwa, mimi nishaichapwa na sabuni, bar of soap, ilirushwa vru kutoka bafu ilifika bedroom. Hiyo sijaisikia uchungu kama hiyo maishani mwangu. Hiyo kichapo haikuwa ina make sense. So maybe sai tu sitaki kusema ati tunaongea tunafika the same level, but kuna venye tu unanyonyesha what is wrong. And juu kitambo ulikuwa unajua what is wrong, but hata uko unajua what is right, ama unaambiwa unaforcewa tu kujua what is right, hata uko unajua what is wrong. So uko na ile curiosity, so nini mbaya hivi naweza fanya ndo nichapwe. Sasa kuna hiyo conversation, alafu upewe limits, alafu unajua, alafu uonyeshwe consequences unajua ukikosea kitu kama hiyo what will happen, unanyimwa privileges kitu kama hiyo. I mean, sijasema tu mimi ni msee wa kuchapa, I know, but sijasema tusichape, nasema tu hiyo yenye tulifanyiwa sisi, first of all we heal so that tusipeleke kwa watoto wetu, and then alafu we do better, but discipline is necessary. Sijasema ati kusikwe na discipline yote, but hiyo sisi tulifanyiwa, no, lazima tu heal kwanza, juu wazazi wetu sidhani wali heal from their fathers and their mothers, so wakakuja akatuwekea sisi, kwanza mimi niliekele Kai. So yeah, discipline.
All right, thank you, Miranda. I'll ask the same question to you, Martha. Do you think there's a better way of is there a right way to discipline a child?
First and foremost, let me just agree with Miranda that we need to heal from the pains of our past, because one of the mistakes that I personally made was I had not healed from the beatings that I received from my mom, so I transferred it to Kimberly. And so there was a time I beat her and she had to be admitted in hospital. That was not funny. Yes, it was that bad. Because I beat her the same way I was beaten. Mimi nilikuwa nikigonganishwa kwa ukuta. As in, my mom used to say, my friend, niko na watoto wangapi nyuma yako? I don't care. Endo kiendanga. So I got married then, of course, umtoi, si ati she was in discipline. That's the worst thing. Nilikuwa tu nikitafuta palipa kutoa hii hasira. So one day I just got hold of her, threw her to the wall, she zimiaed, and we had to rush her to hospital. And that was the last time I hit her. I had to heal from that pain. And from then on, I looked for better ways to discipline her and her brother. So one of the things that I did was I would have discussions with them. We'd sit and talk. I would have time out with them. I would give them time out. I would take away something that they love the most. Like every Sunday we'd go out for lunch. We are not going out. I would go out for lunch, but I would not take them with me. So that was a different way of disciplining them instead of the rod, and it worked. Yeah. So is there a different way? Imagine there is, but there's a place for the rod. There's a place for the rod. Don't get me wrong. But as you're using the rod, please don't use it from your past experiences, because it could cost you. It could cost you. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, Martha, I just feel like you've done closure on behalf of our mothers. Na nasikia ni kama ndalia, unajua. Kwa sababu, I think it's the first time I'm actually hearing, like, from a parent perspective, the broken side of them, you know, that, you know, all these things used to happen to us as kids when you're being disciplined, punished, beaten up. I don't even know. But this is mbona nilikuwa na nyongo nikichapwa. You understand? It doesn't. Okay, anyway, yeah, besides the point. But just getting to hear from a mother's perspective that, hey, I was broken. I needed to understand a few things. I was messed up and I was transgressing I was passing across my heart to you. Oh man, hey, that's due to tufunge tu masks off kwa sababu, hey. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Kimberly, I hope we'll heal. I hope uko sawa.
Well, wacha tu tuseme tuna heal. Bado kuna PTSD.
Okay. Perusing through the comment section, I'm seeing just say, hey, Mr. Producer, super editor, super everything. And as I was only beaten once. The rest were attempted murder. There's a day my dad fought me like he's equal. I have never looked at him the same. I was in class 3. It is no difference from a mob. Sorry, just as if I can check us, I apologize. But Paul, just I see these people just giving in their feedback and just saying, Paul, man. I guess there's some of us who've really had nasty experiences based on the beatings that we received, and which was a bit extreme to what was actually supposed to be there. You know, Martha, allow me to just go back to you and ask you, do parents really have to be strict? Is it a requirement for parenthood? Like, sasa kwa sababu nimekuwa baba mtoto, I need to be strict. Nafaa kuwa, is it necessary?
Again, there's a part of being strict, but I need you to understand that a lot of us parents, we carry on what we got when we were growing up. So if our parents were strict, we'll pass it on to our children, not remembering that it's a new generation. The things that used to work in the past don't work now. There's a new way of doing things. So there's a place of strictness, but also, how is it being done? Are you telling your child that they need to be a lawyer because in your entire generation they are lawyers, and that's not what they want to be? Do you get? Why are you telling your child to be home at 6 p.m.? Is there a good explanation to why your child should be home at 6 p.m.? So for me, it is find the balance. There's a balance of being strict. There's a balance to doing everything. We can't keep doing things the way the past generation did their thing. So move with the changing of times. I mean, one of the best way to do it is involve the Holy Spirit. I mean, that's the one guy who has helped me raise my children. Come into partnership with him, and he will show you what to do and how to be different. What strictness looks to him in this generation and in this time. So yeah.
So good, so good. Thank you so much, Martha. I have never actually, you know, this is a very fast. Let me just commend you for having a renewed mind towards this ukweli. This is very, It's very rare to hear this, so asante for this. Now I and I know for the quite a number of viewers and listeners who are not yet parents, but I know there's a mental note that has been placed there that there is need to invite the Holy Spirit. There's need to invite the Holy Spirit in just like discerning and helping Sijai imagine nikishika kiboko na some Holy Spirit. Niangusha ama nisiangushe, I've never actually thought about it, but I actually appreciate your input in this. Jassy, let me just go to you real quick and ask you, with what you know now, would you still chapa your kid? Like where is your stand right now in regards to disciplining your child?
That's a good question. I don't know. For the longest time nilikuwa najua tu by the vile mimi nilidiscipliniwa ndo disciplinatory, but the same way Mata said, it's going to be a different generation. Definitely some things will have to change. So, but I think there's a place for caning, and there's a place whereby different methods of punishing children need to be adapted. So isikue tu vile for me najua time yote ningechoma, hata nilikuwa najua vile kiboko ilikuwa inakaa, so nilikuwa nisha imagine najua tu dada ataniambia enda uniletee kiboko hata kama ni anything, kuna time hata nilipigwa juu nilikuwa nimemaliza kukula food wa mwisho, like pass manze. But you see, I believe there's a place for everything and there's a time for everything. So not everything that worked for me will work for the generation that is coming after me. Yeah. So I agree with what she says, that Holy Spirit anafaa kusaidia. Pia let's not lean on our own understanding and think the same way we were brought up is the same way we'll bring up our children. Yeah. So
great to having a renewed mindset from your end as well. Really, really good. There's a very interesting question that's arising here, and I guess I just want to shoot this to Miranda, and then Elsie can answer later. There's a statement that says parents need to remain being parents. This story about mixing up parenthood and now you're calling your parent your friend, haifai kuwa hapo. Like, what's your thought of this? Do you think parents should just stay parents, stick to parents, or you can just, now that you're grown up, now that you're mature, despite the history that you had, despite the perspective that you had with them in regards to how they used to treat you, like, do you still think it's good to just invite them into your life and let them know what you're doing and the whatnot, and just call them a friend as well? Yeah.
Yes. Hey, my mom is my everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. My mom is my best friend. My mom is my confidant. My mom is my prayer partner. My mom is literally my everything. As in, I love my mother. Hata my dad. I love my dad and my mom, but my mom is, my OG. I mean, hata nikishikwa sahi nikienda cell, my mom would be the first person who I will, call. My mom is, the relationship, manze, mamangu yunisaidia sana. As a young adult, I can't call myself a youth. As a young adult, I am going through so much. I mean, I am past my marriage years, and she understands. Atakuja ni encourage. By the way, usiache mtu akuharakishe. I'm still at home. Atani encourage. As a woman, she feels what I feel. As a woman, she understands what I am going through. She educates me on how to, keep my money, how to handle my finances. My mom, amenisaidia. Mama yangu ni OG. Amenipeleka, zile mabase, nikitaka curtains najua nitapata wapi, ile siku nitahama, nikitaka vikombe nini, yani mamangu. So my mom being my friend, I think I'd recommend people being friends with their mom, or parents being more friendly with their mother or their father. I don't think there's a problem vile. Then it's tunazoeana ati ndakamtuko mamangu nambe niaje madhe. Nah, she's just my friend and she's also my mom. I respect her as a mother and I also love her as my friend. Hata tunafanya biashara pamoja, so that's how deep me and my mom are. I wish angekuwa hapa, but
I think the same. I think it's important to have a balance of both. Joezi kwa tu. Okay, kwa tu, I feel like if you're that type of parent who you just want to assert that maybe I'm the parent, you'll lose your kid. As in, kuna vitu, like you can be wrong and it's very obvious that you're wrong. But uko tu hapa, who's the mother between me and you, who's the mom? You can't live like that. I feel like you need to also humble yourself and be a human being. When you're wrong, apologize as much as it's hard or whatever. Alafu JCL said something about other methods. Mi niko na story other methods. There's a time, so actually my mom stopped beating me kitambo sana. I think probably class 4 or class 3. Like I don't remember being beaten after that. But alikuwa anatumia hizi other methods. And I feel like they were even more effective than beating for me. Just jawai sahau hizo lessons. Like there's a time she had given me housework to do. Alikuwa amenipatia enda upanguze. You need to clean the house before I come home. So sis came back home. I was just chilling, watching TV. I haven't done anything. So she came, she looked at me. She was like, okay. Then she just went about her day normally. So I'm wondering, is she mad? She's not mad. Okay. So tukapiga story usiku, tulipiga story. We had a good time. So ikafika 11 p.m. and it was a Saturday. I remember we were going to church the next day early because my dad is like a pastor. So tulikuwa tunaraukia church. You guy, this is said. Since hawezi panguza during the day, maybe unaweza panguza usiku. Maybe it's just the time that was the issue. So me had to clean the whole house at 11 p.m. and I was sleepy. I was exhausted. I had to clean every room. People are asleep. Hakuna kuamsha. Just pass there with. You think I've ever forgotten to do housework again? I have never. As in, akisema it's done. So I feel like, yeah, these other methods also work. See, every time unachapwa. Yeah.
Thank you. So it's interesting because mazo ukisema hiyo story nikonaona Kimberly anaangalia mamake design nyingine ya mama msidhania nilisahau. Nakumbuka. The year was 1994. Na ilikuanga March. Siku tarehe 7. Najua kenye ulinifanyia. Mungu ni nani? Mungu ni nani? Sitasahau mama. Nimekusamehea. Bless your souls. You know, friends, I think if you ask me, I'd stand in the same place with Miranda. I mean, her relationship with her mom is goals. But I think the one thing that I have grown to appreciate in having your parents as friends right now is the ability to learn from their mistakes. You know, kulantu from the elders wenye walikula. You know. And I think it's definitely it's a different concept from quite a number of people because I don't know your culture. I don't know what works for you guys, but I'm just throwing it in there, you know. I'm just asking to swali tu za kutupa huko tu, but do you know your dad's first crush? Do you know your mom's first boyfriend? Do you know the mistakes they made? Do you know why they broke up? You know, do you know what credit score they had in their first year in campus? Do you know their most embarrassing moments? Do you know their first financial mistakes they made? Do you know? I mean, I could go on, but there's so much from your parents that you don't know, and you'd be so surprised. You know, you'd be so surprised. Sengine nakanga tu chini tu nasikia mabe, and like your dad is, let's say your dad is called Brian. Lakini unasikia umenikumbusha Martin. Uko ala. Martin tena. Hizi ni zipi, you know. And you get to listen to these stories and you get to hear mistakes from them, because it's a very different concept from them. They don't know how to just come straight forward. And I believe, I'm assuming I'm speaking on behalf of quite a number of parents, but they don't know how to come straight forward and tell you, like, this is a mistake I made, you know. But they'll really emphasize on a particular part and not tell you, like, if you go like at a tangent angle from what I'm asking you, you might actually make a mistake, you know. They may actually keep on telling you, watch on a relationships, at least ingia campo, and they're not telling you it's because they had a really bad heartbreak that caused them to have depression when they're in Form 3, you know. And up until you actually sit down and befriend them and get to learn from them, that's when you really get to understand a number of things about them that, you know, would really go a long way in just making it better, you know. Last year in December, there's a time I was hosting my dad over at the family for lunch, and I had stories from my father, and I was wondering, who are you again, you know? And it's just talking to us about his how his year was between 27 to 30, and ilikuwa nakani kama madhe nasikiza James Bond, and nashindwa ukadu we, you know. It wasn't easy for him to just expose his weaknesses and the mistakes that he made, but I am so glad that he actually went ahead and did so, you know. I'm so glad that when, you know, I'm having real conversations with my father, and he's always said this thing, but when my father says, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you guys, you kids, would focus on, you know, faithfully sticking to your wives when you get married. And I don't know why, but when he comes in and tells us, you know, about how in the times when he was in his early late youth, I don't know, being a Casanova was not such a big deal for him, you know. Playing around and flirting with people's daughters was not a big deal. And I'm here always thinking in my head, my mother was the first crush and first girlfriend and first wife, end of story. Wapi Kanairo, kumbe ilikuwa inaitwa Kanairo, you know. But I think just learning from friends, you know, asking your mom, ni biashara gani ushaiweka ikailope vibaya sana, like learning from the mistakes and the things they've done, mistakes in their marriages, mistakes in their, I could go on, but I just think it's such an added advantage in just having your parent as your friend, and I think that the heavier burden is on us, because if you wait on them to just like make the first move, they may not necessarily do it. But I just urge you, just make that move, you know. Go ahead, push them, ask them to do this, go plan, visit them, and then make sure your phone is away to let the awkwardness thrive in the room. Itaisha, kwani iko nini? All right. As we close, as we're about to wind down, I think I have a final question that I just want to allocate to Martha. And yeah, I guess we can just call it a night after this. But Martha, this statement that says, spare the rod, spoil the child. Discuss. 10 marks.
So spare the rod, spoil the child. As you said earlier on, kuna ile kuchapa unachapa ngo kuto ujinga, and all those things. But imagine the reason why we beat is because we love, and you don't want you to go astray. But again, as I said, there's a place of the road. There's a certain age, hawezi chapa mtoto, hata ungetaka. Okay, for my mom, she can still beat me, by the way, to date. As in her, she tells me, you're not too old, but that's her generation. But for this generation, sasa hii ya kina Kimberly, there's a place I can't. I just can't. I can't even lift even that mwiko. For me, it's let's sit and talk. Sparing the rod also means it's not just the slipper, it's also the counsel that you're giving your child. You can't watch your child get into a ditch or a pit and allow him to get into it. It's always having that counsel. That counsel is still that rod. that counsel is still part and parcel of the road. And if your counsel is not good enough, you can always seek help from people who have gone ahead of you in your generation. Please, in your generation, I will emphasize, in your generation, the people who have given birth before you can help you in the place of disciplining your child. And that's what I personally did. I went to people who have gone ahead of me and have children almost the same age as mine, and I asked questions and I learned from them. And so that particular verse, when you continue reading it, it says it's discipline is just a way of showing love. And so it's not about the slipper. It's not about the slipper. It's not about the beating. It's about, does your child understand why you're doing the things that you're doing? Because if you beat this child and you're not explaining to them why you're beating them, imagine you're just leading a rebellious coup. That's the truth. Because every time they will be doing something, they'll know, minta chapwa, what's the big deal? And that was me, by the way. That was me. I used to know, even if I become number one, I'll still be beaten for something. Maybe I failed one sum, I'll still be beaten. So really, I became rebellious, totally, because I was like, there's nothing I can do that will ever please my mom. So I grew up very rebellious. She'd say one thing, I'd do the other because I knew I would get beaten. So when I got Kimberly as my first child, I knew I didn't want that kind of life for her. But remember, I had not dealt with the root of my issues. And when I did, it became better for her. So I knew what to do better than where I was coming from. So for me, I hope I have answered your question, Peter. My parting shot would be, guys, talking as a parent now, I would ask each one of you to go back to the place of, yes, you were beaten. Yes, it was war. Yeah, military. By then, tulichapo military style. Forgive. Forgive. Because this is the truth. Our parents didn't know any better. They were coming from a place of the same kind of brutality, and they believed that that brutality was what would shape their children. Did it shape us? Yes, it did. Because we are here today. But the pain is still there. Let go of the pain. Forgive your parents because they didn't know any better. And let it go and begin afresh. As in, God is asking you to begin afresh with your parents. They also had their own demons that they were dealing with, but you know better now. Let it go and just begin afresh. Imagine at the end of the day, you cannot change the lineage that you've come from. Can't. You can't change that. But you can change the future for yourself and the generations to come. And I don't think any one of you would want to carry on that pain to the future generation. Because imagine if you don't deal with this pain, it will affect even your own marriages. So let go. Let go. I mean, if your mom hurt you, I stand on behalf of all mothers and I say, we are sorry. As in, I know we've beaten our children out of yani tumewachapa. So for me, I ask, forgive, let go, and let God. Yeah.
Wow. I don't know what to say after that. The apology has landed home, Mother. Thank you so much, Mother, for just speaking and being vulnerable on behalf of all mothers and all parents for that matter, and just letting us in how it's interesting, or it's just coincidental that I see we needed to have this conversation before we just kick in or usher in Mother's Day in the next 53 minutes, So thank you, Martha, for just being a blessing to us. And thank you for everyone else in this amazing team. I think, guys, one thing I'd like to ask you even before we call it, and just please make sure that you get to just spend a minute or two, tomorrow, or you can just leave a message before you call it a night, but just get to spend some time and just acknowledge and appreciate the effort that your parents, mother for that matter too, because tomorrow is Mother's Day, and we can't wait to do this session again during Father's Day that's coming, I think in next month, but one. But yeah, please go ahead and just, if you're able to just give your mom a call tomorrow. Actually, it's funny story. Usimpost before mcall, sawa. Acha tu niseme tu. Tuna posting sasa, hayuko Instagram. Umefungua roho Instagram. Cheki, hayuko. Go to mpigie kwanza, and then you can post the budget on the reel. Just make sure that you're able to just reach out to your folks and just tell your mom that you love her. Tell your mom, remind her, Manze, that you're where you are because of her. If you can't do that, please go ahead and just leave her a message, and it's gonna be the first thing that she's gonna see tomorrow morning. So once again, thank you so much, guys, for being here. Special shout out to Somi Elsie, Maoz Jesu, aka the icon himself, Martha, Kimberly, and Miranda. God bless you guys so much for just being here and candidly sharing your stories, Manze. So we just want to call it a wrap and say thank you for just hanging out with us until this time of the hour, Manze. Looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow during service at 10:15 a.m. On Facebook and Instagram through our social media handle, that is @frontanasw. All right. So that's it for me, Manze. Have yourself an amazing evening. Sleep well. Mungu anawapenda. Tuonane kesho during service, and have yourselves an amazing night. Good night, guys. Bye.